All right. So this has been an unusual project for atdrafting.com. This project started out as Mark contacting me. This was a model that his brother, who's an architect, did. It's kind of a schematic model. They wanted to build this Quonset hut house, and they actually put down a deposit, and excuse all this drawing stuff here. I'm getting ready to delete it all. But he wanted to build this Quonset building home, and so I got the specs from the company, and drew the Quonset, the panels, and we put them all together and came up with a floor plan. And the more we talked about it, you could see I was in the process of doing the floor framing and all that. During the process of our discussions, I was able to, how do you politically correctly say talk someone into something? Anyway, we're to conventional methods now, so we can delete those. And I don't want to go into that too much because I want to get right to this. But the decision was made to cancel the order for that. There's a lot of reasons behind that, and mainly due to cost, hidden cost that are not, when you see a lot of content on the internet, there's always a backstory you're not seeing. There's always hidden costs that you're not seeing. There's always issues in real life that you don't see in videos on YouTube. So that being said, the realism came flooding in, and wisely, I think Mark and his wife Pam decided to cancel that, and we were going to move forward with designing a simple house that's going to cost less to finish and is more easily made to be energy efficient and just easier to design around, the spaces they want, easier to build, easier to get windows and doors in around the perimeter. Just a whole cadre of things, is that a word? That led us down the road we're on now, which is simple house, simple plan, simple budget, simple life. And I always love that. With my experiences in affordable housing for over the past 40 years, I helped start Habitat for Humanity in Chattanooga. I also helped start another nonprofit housing organization called Chattanooga Neighborhood Enterprise. I was one of the first project managers there. And with that experience, I have, experience in affordable housing and also have experience in luxurious housing. So I have experience on both ends of the spectrum. And I always love it when people agree to simplicity that can be, I love simple luxury. Let's put it that way. Your life can be luxurious when you're not, in debt up to your wazoo, whatever that means. Anyway, we went through a couple of plan options here. We're trying to shoot for between 12 and 1,500 square feet. So finally I drew a rectangle and said, okay, this is our perimeter. We're looking at about 32 by 54, something like that. And the reason, it's that big is because we've got this garage we're dealing with, a single car garage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up this drawing. I'm going to get rid of everything I don't need. Let's see, do I have all my plumbing? Yeah, I've got all my symbols, all that. I'm going to keep this site. This is a picture of his, he took with his drone. Pretty good picture, actually. Let me look at it straight down. And the lot basically runs north and south. So we've been playing with, how to orient the house to get the best approach into the garage and their view and all that. And so we came up with this where I was trying to get grade information. So that's this slope right here. And it's kind of a long story, but the contractor cut out this notch in the site because he needed dirt for the driveway somewhere. And so now we're trying to, rotate the house to best be suited on the site, and then all this will be regraded, after the house is built. So that's kind of a pre-story, the backstory. Now what I want to do is get just some quick layering stuff done. I want to put this in foundation wall, and I'm going to turn that off for a second. And then I was kind of showing him some sectional work for the attic. I'm just going to delete that because I don't need that anymore. I don't need that anymore. Y'all have to remember I'm hard of hearing and sometimes I slur words. Anyway, let me see if anybody's watching. Hey, we've already got a bunch of people watching. That's cool. Hey, Ray. Ray and Dan and I were just looking at the shed and talking about it. Uh-oh. I'm easily talked about. Hey, Danner. Hey, he hasn't checked comments yet. I'm checking them. Nothing can cost less today. Oh, yeah. Everything. Oh, yeah. We can always have a project that costs less than one you originally dreamed up. Trust me. I'm an expert on that. And this is one of them. We went from a Quonset building to a traditional framing, which still is going to be cheaper. And, Mark and I have gone through this evolution. Let me continue to work while I'm talking. I want to put this image into this. Oh, it's already in a good. But what I want to do is I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to make a group out of all this. And then I'm going to place it. I want to start to kind of get things straightened up in this drawing because they've been a mess. I'm going to put it right. Get over there. Get over there. There we go. Now I'm going to rotate the, because I want to work with my drawing, on this axis. It's easier to work with. I'm going to rotate the site. And you know what I should have done? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to rotate this so that I can work on the building. I'm going to delete this one because I don't need it. Let's see. Let me explode that. So there we go. Now we've got I turn my new foundation back on. Sorry, I was getting a text. And from another customer. So that's going to look good. So now I can turn off some of this stuff to be able to work. Let's see, is this grade? I want this to all be a group. And I want it to be the grade layer. So I can turn that off. And now I can just work. I want to turn off the foundation. And I'm going to draw myself a rectangle. It's going to be my floor plane. The floor. And I know it's going to be about 12 inches thick. It's going to be my floor system thickness. So I'll make that a group. And I'm just going to leave it right there for right now to kind of give me a background to zoom in. Because, when you're over here in space, sometimes SketchUp goes kind of nutty. But what I'm going to do now is, let's see if I've got this in a group. Do I have this in a group? Let's see, is this 2D text? This, let's turn it off. So this needs to go Sorry, there's a bit of organization here. Let's see, I need to put this in floor frame, and then turn that off for a second. And these videos are really for the owner, but I like to do live streams because that way, that is in a group. Okay, good. I like to do these live streams so it helps me honestly be able to do videos for the owners and not have to get into too much editing. So it's a bit of a lazy move, but you'll have to forgive me. I need to do work instead of video editing, so I hope you'll understand. So I'm going to just try to mark out these walls, and you can't see what I'm doing because of all this what I'm going to do is I like to keep a two-dimensional. Like I used to take this two-dimensional plan and just raise up the walls that I had already drawn. But now what I like to do is keep that two-dimensional plan as a separate item, a separate layer. And let's go in here and see if I got all my walls. I can tell by, oops, wrong. This, that, yeah. So now I can go around, now I can turn off put this on 2D plan, turn that off. And now I can go and clip out all these little lines between the walls. Oops. And the goal here is to get this up in 3 dimensions so that we can start to talk about space and time. And save now something happened where I didn't get this connected, so I'm just going to I'm just going to draw. I really don't like doing that because I'm going to end up with lines, but I'm going to do it anyway that I have to fix later, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I pull this up. There will be little interference lines now there. Okay, got that. Probably missing some down here in the corner. Aha. Now we're going to have 9-foot walls, and 9-foot walls are 9 feet 1 1/8. Because when you your studs are 104 5/8, and then you have 4.5 inches of top and bottom plates. So if you want to draw your walls correctly, the correct height, 8-foot walls are 8 foot 1 1/8, and 9-foot walls are 9 foot 1 1/8. Let's check comments. Except if you want it doubles, nothing costs. Yes, except yeah. We have to start out with if we want a budget, a project to meet our budget, we have to start out a little under what we like. If you think you can afford 1,800 square feet, design it to 1,500 square feet, and you will get into you will fit within your 1,800 square foot budget. So that's our walls. Now see, I can make these a group, triple click and group, and those will become, I like to put these in wall scheme layer, not the same layer as my, later on when I start doing real walls, I'll use Medic's, extension, and, which we'll get into framing and all that, and siding and sheeting. But for now, I like to keep it on schematic mode until we get past the schematic phase, which is your first real kind of, real thing phase. Let's turn on our floor. I don't think I have the floor on the right elevation. I do. It may be that I don't have the foundation. And let's see, foundation walls. There we go. So there's your kind of layer, your plates. We got our foundation plate, our floor plate, and our wall plate. And you see, eventually all this will be replaced with real stuff. These, this floor plate will be replaced with real joist and subfloor and flooring, and this plate will be, this layer will be replaced with real concrete block and piers and footings. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll see that coming soon on this. But this is how I like to do it, just to get past the kind of discovery phase. And so the interesting thing about this house is we are going to have, let's turn on our 2D plan again. We're going to have a loft area, sort of a second floor area, and it's going to start right here where this dashed line is, and I want to make sure that that is a 23, 1.5. Let's see if I can come up with a better dimension. It's 20 or 30 foot 10.5. Well, maybe I shouldn't worry about it at this point. I like for things to be kind of logical, like when I'm talking to a contractor, my framer, I'd rather be able to say the loft starts at 24 feet or 23 feet instead of having this sort of ambiguous 23, 11.5 thing, Now, if it has to be there, and in this case, it might have to stay because I've got that loft lined up, I thought, with this wall. And so we'll discover that in a minute, if that is true. So now I'm going to draw a floor plate that's right there. And I know it's going to be about 12 inches thick too, because it'll be, let's see, it'll be a, let me make it 12 to start out. I've got this distance right here to consider 16 feet. Yeah, it will be 11 7/8 plus, let's go down. We'll use, let's see, 1/8. Then we'll come up 3/4 for our subfloor, and we'll leave it right there for now. And then we'll make that a group. Let's see, make that a group. And so what that will do is show me, no, it doesn't exactly line up with that wall. And I think what we did was we made some adjustments to this wall based on this we added this little closet right here. Let's see if I have any more comments. See, I wore you all down. No more comments. like I say, these videos are for, for the owners. I do them for them, but I like to share them with everybody. But they will get boring for people who are not involved in the project. So I cannot make it any more entertaining. I'm sorry. Now, work is not always entertaining. They see, do I want to tell the contractor it's 30 feet 10 and a half or not? The stuff, my framer. The other thing I'm dealing with is I want this entry here to be centered, and I've got 6 foot allowed for it here, and that's just basically where it ends up. So I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'll just have to be embarrassed when my framer asks me how far that comes over. Actually, it'll be dimensioned on the plan, and that's okay. But the main thing is here is we have to decide where the vault, like this, so what'll happen is this wall, and I'm going to have to go ahead and draw my roof shape to know, but this wall right here is going to extend all the way up. So what'll happen is I'll have a line here, and I'll have to separate these walls for now. So I'll put another little line there and there, and I'll go ahead and even separate it here. That way I can pull this wall up until it meets the roof. And then these are those little interference lines I was talking about that I have to go back and delete if I want it to look pretty, which I do. I want my models to look pretty. So now what I'm going to do, let's see, did I wear everybody down? I did. I wore them down, so now I can work. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a roof plane, a roof layer, a roof schematic, and I'm thinking I'm going to have a 3.5 inch seat cut, and then let's go 12 inches, and then we'll come up 10. Where's my blue axis? 10, and then we'll, is that it? Is that my 3.5? Yeah, that's a minimum seat cut for me that I like. I don't want to have anything less than that, because I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be using for rafters. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 11 7/8. Let's see, I may want to, I'm going to have to research the seat cut and see how I'm going to use these. I'm rambling, I know, sorry. The wood eye joist that I'm going to use for rafters, because one of the issues we're dealing with on this is that we have a 60 to 70 pound snow load. And why didn't that connect? Why did that not connect? There we go. So we're gonna, what I think I'm gonna do is go ahead and draw these as, I think they're 2.5, 2.5 wide. And I'm not gonna draw the whole, make that a group. I'm not going to draw the whole thing. Actually, I'm going to make this a component, and later on I'll make it look like a wood eye joist, because what I want to do is copy it now. What I do want to have is something that's real enough to get my headroom properly shown. 180. And let me get over here, I can see that. I didn't draw my bird's mouth on there. Let's go over here. See, since that's a component, I can go back over here and draw my bird's mouth, and it won't show up. Well, that's weird. Looks like I did have it there. No. Why are you acting strange on me? Let's go all the way over here and come all the way down here. Uh-huh. Why's that acting funny? Sometimes, oh, it is working. Okay, I just couldn't see it. Oh, I know what it was. It was that guideline, delete guides, was interfering with my ability to see the line that I had there. So now, the reason I did that is because I want to know where that bird's mouth is, because this is supposed to be, supposed to be notched out all the way across, and it's not, but it is on this side. But now I got to figure out why it's not over here. Just, what's that song? Constant sorrow. I'm a man of constant sorrow. Well, there's the bird's mouth. It's like it magically appeared on this side. Me and Barrett need to cover that song. Alright, so that, and we'll have a ridge beam, and you'll see why I made these components right now. Because now I can just draw myself a little line right here and get rid of that. And magically the other one's going to fix itself. It's magic. Now, eventually I'll have a ridge beam and all that. You know, a ridge, not a ridge beam, but a ridge. No need for it to be could be a beam. There's the difference between a ridge and a ridge beam is that when you have a beam it's more or less supporting, it becomes a structural member supporting the rafter load, or this half of the roof load. Therefore, you can kind of eliminate the need for like rafter or collar ties and that kind of thing. So over a vaulted area, I like to have, you know, a ridge beam, and that way I can keep it a true vault. I don't have to have these weird flat spots unless we want them, or unless we want an area to run ductwork or something like that. So, but we want the choice. And these are going to have to be on 16-inch centers because of the 60-pound, 70-pound, whatever it is. I think I'm going to put 30 of them in there for right now. And then I'm going to move them all down to the end so I don't waste them. Don't want to waste my stuff I made. Yeah, let's just grab a bunch of these and we'll got close, didn't I? Let's go one more. Why does that look like it's closer? That's because they're wider than a normal rafter. Aha, and we just exposed our first issue, that this wall, or these walls, will have to be raised up. But let's put these on here, because what I'm going to do is, why did I delete that? What I meant to do was copy it and then put one, we want to put one flush with the end, and unfortunately that's going to be that close together. It's no big deal. It just has to remain on our layout. And oh, I know why I deleted it, because I wanted to copy, I wanted to keep these. I wanted to copy both sides at the same time. And I'm going to suggest a 2-foot overhang. So for now, I'm going to run out 24 on both ends. There we go. And now I'll put those in my roof framing layer. I refuse to say tag. I'm not going to yield to SketchUp's new tyranny, tag tyranny. I should write an article, tag tyranny. Roof framing, roof frame, there we go. Now I can turn those off. Because I know, see if I have any other comments. Nope. Wore everybody down. I wore them down. Am I still, yeah, I'm still live streaming. Am I? Okay, good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is turn those off. Roof framing. Roof. Where? I've got things that are out of, all this needs to go in. Wall, and I don't know why there's a space there. Oh, I know what happened. I did that. I was demonstrating that extension, and that's how I ended up with all those layers. Roof. Let's see. Did I not just have a layer roof? Oh, that was floor frame. That's what I did wrong. So what I need to do is create roof frame. And put it in there instead. RSTUVW. I know my alphabet. Oops. They all need to go in there. What I really should do is a good practice, a good CAD standard practice, is to keep all these in the untagged layer. And then make a group and put the group in the layer you want it to be in. Don't put your geometry in the layer, put your group in the layer. That way you can nest the groups in different layers. Let's see, roof frame, there we go. Now I can turn that off and I can raise these walls up. So this one, I should have left my little lines in, shouldn't I? Would have made this easier. That's already separated. Just separate this. And now these walls will have to come up to there, see? And actually what we like to do is we like to actually run a plate on top of this floor system. So it'll actually come up another 1.5 inches like that. And then we'll have a plate that we're going to call part of, what are we going to call it? We'll call it part of our roof framing or something. Let me think. And we'll come in. Let's see. That'll be 6. Let's see, we got 6. Is that, why does it look like it's more than 6? My eyes are watering for some reason and I can't see a freaking thing. 6. And then this will be, and then this will be a 1/2 inch, and then that's your plate. And that's a little more detail than I meant to get into right now, but I just wanted, I was afraid I would forget to do that later on. This won't be there. It will just be around the edges. And I need to why is that doing that? This is its own thing. That needs to be deleted. This needs to be deleted. This needs to be butt into that. You see, this is a plate nailed down on top of the floor, so it's going to be set back a 1/2 inch. And I know I'm getting into a little too much detail right now, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything. It'll just be something there that I don't have to do later. And the reason we do this is because we like to have something solid wood to nail our, fasten our roof system to, instead of the Advantech that's going to be the subfloor. We don't want to set our rafters right down on top of the subfloor. We want to have a plate there. And that plate, nailing that down determines the height of this wall. And if I turn my roof framing back on, and since I'm in a layer, or since I have it all grouped, I can just take that group now and raise it up that 1.5 inches. .5. Yeah, and these house line, again, I'm getting into much more detail than I meant to be, but these house line rafters will be on that house line framing, because you see the wall sheeting will come up and go by them, will bypass them. And same thing down here. Something happened to my There we go. Let's see if I did this one proper. Is this 24 from here to here? Oh, it's that ½ inch is messing me up. So I need to move this back a ½ inch. And again, I always catch myself getting into this much detail early. And it's hard, it's honestly hard to keep yourself in a sort of a schematic mode. Because, you know, the first thing that'll happen is the owner will want to change the pitch of the roof. And here I am getting into that level of detail when I'm just going to possibly have to change it. Which is fine, that's their prerogative. But I have to train myself to keep from. And the whole point to that was to know how far this wall is going to have to come up. Or I just want to be able to show it. Oh, hey. Are you going to work? All right, be careful, son. Alex is going to work. He's managing Taco Mamacita. He's doing really good. Why is that not? Oh, I know what it is. That wall's set back, so I'll have to kind of come in here. And for now, what I'm going to do is just show. I'm just going to show it right here for now, and later, like I said, I'm training myself. Later, I'll come back and, you know, make it a wedge, and I'll, you know, cut the angle on it and all that. I just want to be able to see. I want to be able to kind of give the owner an idea of what this vaulted ceiling is going to look like here, and then what I can do is put myself a mark in the middle of this wall. Yeah, I knew it wasn't in the middle completely or exactly, and then I can raise it up. I think I can raise it up without getting interference. No, I can't, can I? Because of this wall, so I'll have to draw it. No big deal. Checking for questions or comments. And so that means what I'll have to do is just draw this up to well, how can I get to where I can see? Probably what I can do is just bring myself up 2 lines for now like that, and then bring up this thing like that. And then delete that like that, and then do the same. I should have done the inside first. It would have been a lot easier. Now I got to manipulate myself around and through this maze of rafters. There it is, I found it. Right. I think I'm just going to leave those horizontal lines for now and just get rid of the vertical ones right there, and these like that. Then see, we can turn the roof off and draw ourselves a line. This will be easier. Oops, I need to go back into the group and edit it. That will give me my little, bring this over and bring this over. And see, now I've got a different wall over here. I've got a different situation here. I've got to bring this over like that. And then this is where I'm wishing I had left this alone, but I'm going to go ahead and just draw this wall. Let's see. What did I do? Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that in a minute, though. I want this to go to there, and then delete that, that. And then I can just make this 6.5 like that. And then I can turn on my roof again, and I'll have the in the wall kind of where it's supposed to be, and reverse that. Oops, what did I do? There we go. There we go. Now, let's see, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make myself a plane. Let's see. One thing I just realized is I never really fixed the overhang of these rafters, but that's easy since they're components, because this would be 22.5. Should have drawn that straight down. Now I can draw myself a decking plane. Let's see, I want to be out of the rafters. I don't want to be inside that group. I want to be outside that group. Is it not going to let me? That's weird. Why it wouldn't let me go all the way to the point up there? I'll move it up there. And then we're going to make this at least 5/8. And make it a group. And that's going to be my... Now see, Ray, I know you're not still watching, but if you are, you need to go tell SketchUp how to fix this issue where, depending on what angle you're at, you can see through. You see, I can see the rafters through the decking, even though it's 5/8 of an inch thick, and these are not transparent surfaces. You can still, and as a scientist, I think you could fix that. This is one reason why I'm kind of hoping they're aliens, because some of the things that humans are too lazy to fix, like cancer and all that, and why, and I'm not making light of cancer. I think we could fix that if we tried hard enough. If we can come up with a vaccine for a pandemic in a year, we should be able to fix cancer after 50 years of research. Anyway, I won't get off on that tangent. So that's kind of a rough look. So now I need a layer called, what have we got? I need roof sheathing. Roof sheathing. And I'm trying to keep these, I call it roof decking. Anything that's not vertical, I call decking. Like wall sheathing is vertical. Floor and roof decking is like the deck of a boat. You know, I like to say roof decking. But I'm trying to keep these layer names the same as what Medique uses, because I don't want to have multiple layers for the same thing. So I'm going to take this and that and put it into roof sheathing. Then I'm going to turn them off, and I'm going to turn off my framing. Now I can look at my floor plan for the second floor, and also, interestingly enough, the stair. Now we've got our stair, our first and second floor is pretty accurate, within probably 1/8 of an inch. I know that that's 10 foot 1 3/4. So I can take, this is a neat little trick. You take that line in SketchUp and go use the divide, and then I go up here and I look and see which riser height I want. There's 23 at 5. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to get down here to around 7.5. 7 3/16 is a good one. Yeah, I want to go 7 3/16 first. You always want to kind of start off with something that's closer to or right under a half, 7.5. And what I've learned in the past is that sometimes with all the matter that gets between your stuff, that, let's see, 36. We're just going to make this 36 for now. Where's that other one? That sometimes you end up with a, when you actually get ready to build your steps, you'll have a little bit more height And if you base it on, too high, if I base it on 7 5/8 now, and I've done this 100 times where my steering's at being 7 3/4, my riser's on the actual site, and it's frustrating. And I always say to myself, why didn't I just base it on something less, make group? Now what I can do, and so that's the logic behind. And I didn't mean to do that. I meant to get that right on that corner, and I'm going to delete there. Now, this is a rough way to do stairs if you're just trying to see where they land. And again, we're in schematic mode here, so we're just going to block them out. They're accurate, they're just not pretty. Let's try 16. And I knew that was going to be one. So what I'm going to do, you want to delete the top one. The top one is the floor is your top riser. And I got to go one more, or where am I? Yeah, I got to go one more. Why does that look funny? It looks like I'm almost there, but I'm not. Oh, that's weird. I was there. Okay, so now what I want to do is group those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I had 17 risers at 7 3/16. Now I could have had 16 risers at 7 5/8, but I promise you, and I'm going to check this with my two-dimensional plan, I promise you you would have ended up having to have that extra riser, and you would have been frustrated because you didn't plan for it. The reason I'm saying that is because there's a door right here, and I don't want the door. The 2D plan is on, I just have the walls in the way. So let me turn off the, good Lord, up to multiple layers already. Wall frame. This is supposed to be in wall scheme. That's right. Wall frame will be the actual. There we go. And you see, that's what I'm talking about. See how I thought just guessing at where the stair was going to land and where it actually does land are two different things. Let's see if we've got 7 3/16. Now I could make these, 7 5/8 and get that back to here, but I'm still out past my door, so I think it's probably worth moving. Let's see, am I editing that? No, I'm not. Let's turn off the floor for a second. There we go. It's probably worth just moving this back, and I'll talk to the owner. Talk to Mark. I could talk to him right now if he was here. Let's see. I just want to move these 2 points out past, but that needs to be at least 6 inches this way. So I don't think that's going to hurt anything. I don't think. So then the other decision is, does this wall so what we would have here, let's just look at this for a second. Our floor is either going to come to here, or if you want to take in this square footage, is there a line across there? There certainly is. Why is that? That was left over from that plate. I knew I didn't delete all that. If you wanted to, so that's your two options. Two options are running the floor to here and then vaulting the ceiling in the masters, which I think is probably not going to happen. I don't know. It's what's weird is you could say this floor space is more valuable on the second floor and not vault the, you see. So that's what I need to talk to the owner about next. Taking all that in, and because when I was talking to Mark, he didn't seem to put a high priority or high value on the vaulted ceiling in the master. Maybe that was just an impression that I got. So that's really the question. And I think what I'm going to do is turn that on and that, and I'm going to get with him, probably go ahead and meet with him on this issue or let him watch this video, and probably would be easier if I took a screenshot that way. Let me check to see if there's any questions. Hey Richard, how's it going? Thanks Richard for the thumbs up and sharing. You're a good friend. Let's see, if I turn that roof sheeting and framing back off, now what I've got to do, what I would have here is a wall. Let's just draw it like this to get it started. That would be, let's just call it 12 feet by 4.5. Then we'll raise it up 36 inches. Wait a minute. Was I editing? Yeah, I don't want to make it part of that floor. I want it to be a part of the walls. So let me do that again. Let's make it 10 feet by 4.5. And then we'll raise it up 36 inches. And then I'll clip it. It'll come to there. And then it'll be at that angle, it'll be cut. As a matter of fact, I could probably just go ahead and guess at it. Let's just make a guess. And then turn the roof framing back on. I wasn't that close, was I? But see what I can do now is, since I'm still editing that, I can put myself a reference line. And that's really why I did this. I was planning on doing this. Let's grab that line and then move it back to there like that. That's easy enough. And then delete the guideline and then turn the roof back off. And that will show me my thing. And then what will happen is we will have this wall will come over to here. And then we'll actually have a wall. And this will be another decision to be made. I would say it would be worth having a wall that goes all the way down. Oops. So what you would have is, let's just bring it back here. Let's see, 4.5 by, what did it say? 10 feet. And we'll bring it up 36 inches for now, just for the fun of it there. And then we'll bring this to here. And then we'll take this end, put this up. Well, we don't need a line. We can just bring it up to here. Well, I thought I grabbed that. Like that. And then, well, the options are to either leave it open under the stair or leave it, you know, this is going to be a dining room area, or you could have a desk right here. So that's kind of what we'll decide. Or you could, you know, like have a wall here that returns back to that wall, and then you could have a desk or a hutch or something in there. And then you could have a door here that goes under the stair, you know, for storage or whatever. Storing your Christmas tree. What is that going to be? 6 feet 8 by 32. Was I not part of that? That's weird. Oh, I was inside that group. That's cool. So, you know, I wondered why that looked funny. There we go. You know, either, you know, something like that or whatever. So this is cheaper. This is a lot cheaper than a handrail system, right? This building this wall, which we're going to have to build a wall under the stair anyway, most likely, because most likely they'd want storage under the stair. So why not just extend the wall up another 36 inches? You've killed two birds with one stone. And this handrail system would probably cost $6,000 or $8,000 by itself. So you see, you got the framers already there. They're going to be frame this up. You got the drywallers. They're already going to be there. Drywall this. You see, that's how you save money. Little, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 at a time. That's how you save money right there. Do I have any? All good here, just in from work. Upset James this week. Uh-oh. So what I'm going to do is, I've kind of gotten down the road as far as I wanted to get. Let's see, turn all this back on. And I'm going to share this with the owner and have a meeting with them. And go from there. What time is it? Yeah, 12. I need to jump on a call with the person I was talking to earlier. And so there we go. That's kind of part one of our schematic for a sort of a semi-permanent idea on what to do. Now I will turn on our site plan. Where's our site stuff? Let's see. Let's turn on our image and our grade. Let's leave the grade off for a second. But that's what would happen is you'd come up and the garage is going to be right here. You drive up here, circle in, and they've got this area is already graded. I don't know if you can see there's a pit that the contractor graded. And so that's kind of what we're working on. And see, I wish they would fix this issue with, I mean, if you make this decking, you know, real thick, you know, then you don't see, I haven't gotten to that magic point where something is thick enough to where you don't see through it anymore. You know, I've got it at 5/8 of an inch thick right now. How thick do I have to make it so that I can back off here and show the owner what a solid roof would look like without having to see the rafters through the decking or try to manipulate the view. You see, I don't want to be this close, SketchUp, Mr. SketchUp developer. And I know what happens is that SketchUp blames it on the hardware, and the hardware people blame it on SketchUp. So anyway, I've been preaching about this forever, and nobody ever does anything about it. That's why I'm for aliens. I want the aliens to come and solve this. I know they can. And maybe we'll get disclosure next month. Anyway, I will see you again on this project soon. Thanks.